Franklin Templeton, January 4th, 2022. Tracy Chen, portfolio managers with the Brandywine Global. Tim Wong, head of investment research for the Carolyn Partner, joined the head of Franklin Templeton Investment Institute. Stephen Dover take a closer look at how pandemic has the impact real estate market in the United States and China. Transcript. Stephen Dover, in the recent article you wrote about, point out roughly 11% of assets in the big institutions investors are in the private real estate. And of course, other than their home, most individuals don't have access area in the investment. As we look into the 2022, what is the general outlook for the private investing in real estate? Tim Wong said, our outlook for the real estate market in 2022 is very positive, as you know. Demand has been strong, especially driving the industry, warehouse, rental housing, life science, inflationary environment. It has been well documented. Commercial real estate hedge against the inflation is that because of the landlord has ability to increase rent under the better economic condition. So that particular reason, institutions investors are increased target real estate allocations 11% next year. I think many high net worth individual investors are catching up. Stephen Dover said, let's talk about the housing sector a little bit. How you think about I know probably private investment is more like a multi-housing, individual housing. How do you see the sector growing, and where geographically do you see the opportunity? The Tim Wong, based on the calculations in the United States, having the housing shortages since the global financial crisis, being the tonic under the development housing generally. Over past 10 and 11 years, probably 5.5 million houses shortages. There are single-family home, multi-family in general, and you know, we talk about the things. Millennials getting older, they are having family. They're moving to the suburbs, so that's great demand for the next 10 or 15 years. In terms of geographic, continue seeing household migrations or more extensive. And New York, California, costly, the metro, especially in the Sun Belt market, talking about Florida, Texas, Phoenix, Las Vegas, those places, they are more affordable. Household more relocating. Also population following that. Stephen Dover, the sharp rise housing market. Post-COVID really global phenomena in both development markets. That's the United States. So the test can utilize the financial driver in housing boom. Yes, we have done so comprehensive research, global housing market. And the found in many countries have double-digit home price appreciate. And after COVID, I think there are mainly four drivers behind this. First one is largest accumulation saving. A central bank generous stimulus packages also people reassure the housing space. During the lockdown and housing become just shattered. Secondly, the historic low borrowing costs because since central banks are losing the monetary policy by responding to the pandemic. Historic low borrowing costs triggered housing boom. There is severe housing supply shortages. It's not just U.S. U.S. mainly triggered shortages. Labor, land. And if you look at the construction company, poor capacity, they cannot ramp up construction, meet the demand, and lately there's war of mining, chasing higher yielding property. A lot of institutions expired, and the housing boom. They are priced. The market, this is actually an equal problem. Excess spread, the rates. So let's turn a little bit China largest property developer Evergrande ran into the really serious financial problem. When you look in the global market in the West and China, how you see the current Chinese property market, the Tracy Chen, the Evergrande prices are not a surprise to me. There are three drivers behind the Evergrande prices. One is the Chinese government are trying to delever the most highly leveraged property market because they don't want to another Japan. They want to reduce the financial risk. The number two driver is their goal, prosperities. They are realize property market has become expensive and also triggered a lot of inequality problem and want to take the three big mountains like housing, healthcare, education. There are three big mountains have been put in shoulder and the household. Then the third one is the pure circulation because China wants to substitute the import and upgrade the value of China focus. High-end manufacturing, they want to channel capital away. Unproductive sector, the property sector, to more productive sector. If you look at what the Xi Jinping has been talking about, is housing is for living, not for speculating and going forward. I think Chinese property market will be more stable because policymaker goal is all about the stability. They want to stabilize housing price, land price, and house price, appreciation expectation. So I would say very volatile boom and property market is bananas and going to forward. So more government will not use the property market is tool. Stimulate the economy and probably will have the more boring houses market. So Stephen Depp, and when you look at China and compare to the United States, how do you see difference? I think comparing housing market to biggest economy is very interesting. I think there is a lot of difference. The size of housing market, I believe China housing market is bigger than US. So housing is extremely important sector in China. Because of size and importance, economy also standing a lot out. The property sector account about a third of the China GDP, whereas US, Europe, about 15% to 18% property market as percent GDP. Homeowner rate, China is higher with 90%. Privatization housing actually start in the late 1990s. Previously, most social housing. And the U.S. home ownership is about 65% and want to have emphasize big difference in the demand. For the global financial service, we have deep shortage housing because it's undergoing. Whereas China, I have a moderate oversupply problem because of the fast-paced demand, we have delayed household buying from the millennium their home ownerships. I think around 40%. But the problem is China control the currency. So 外汇管制国家。And also all the property, is rent. When the land is rented out for maybe 50 years, and after 50 years you have to return to the government. So that's a big difference from the communist and the real democratic. It's also the free market, free house market. So I think we need to talk about this too. Written about the many of benefit commercial real estate, and one of them is to talk about income. Commercial real estate generally good yield. Commercial real estate have a low and even negative collection stock. It's a stock and the bond. Once you put the portfolio context could generate diversification. Commercial real estate is actually very broad sector. Kim Wong, as you know, pandemic hit the real estate sector and impact different properties. Actually different some sectors in this benefit. One top of this industry, warehouse, e-commerce, online shopping, so on, so on. Yeah. So still a lot of turmoil, still a lot of uncertainty because work from home. This is still developing as we speak, and our generation already is a lot of flexibilities. So people may be working in the office anywhere between 2 or 4 days. The rest of the time from home. So it's near the term clearly negative office demand, but over the long term thing. If the U.S. population grows, continual growth, office using employment, we think eventually demand of catch up in the next few years, and office still the present collaborations for the innovations and socializing among clients, colleagues. So there is no replacement of office, so on, so on. I have to say that it's going to take a while to resolve because this is just no easy solution. This is quite a trend. Glitch are seeing the major port in the US across the global as well. One top of letters. 1.2 trillion US infrastructure bill is very large federal spending in the next 5 and 8 years, going to complete in the material and the construction labor going forward. So think of the construction's material cost and labor cost is going to remain evaluated is going forward. So on, so on. Oh, host. And that is the episode Talking Market with Banking Template. If you like to hear more, visit Archie previous episode. Inside Banking is a ground investment professional. Banking Template, General Report 2022. The Chinese Tracy Chen, portfolio managers, with the brand Wine Global. Tim Wong, head of investment research. For the partner, Caroline, joined the head of Banking Template Investment Institute. Stephen Dover take a closer look at how pandemic has the impact real estate market in United States and China. Transcript. Stephen Dover. In the recent article you wrote about point out